All right. So, I have my own gym set up here in the basement, which is good enough for me. It's equipment that I bought, quite a while back, and I've had down here for, you know, basically since we moved in. But there's been one piece of the puzzle that's always been missing, that is really nice, that you give with the gym ownership, and that's cable flies. And you can lie down on the bench and you can do, dumbbell flies all you want. But I've always kind of liked the cable fly setup. Plus, there's other things you can do with it as well. Now, I have one pulley system on my rack already. At the bottom, and it's also got the lat pull down at the top. Um, you know, so you can do anything you really want to do on here except for cable flies. So, priced them. They're pretty expensive. So I decided to try and see if I can make my own. Actually, surprisingly, turned out very nice. Um, I haven't stuck a whole lot of weight on them yet to really see what they do. But I figured, you know what, I'm going to try to do it as cheap as I possibly can, see how it works. Certain things I can always upgrade later. So this is basically the main part of it that holds the weights. And bear in mind that there's one of these on one side and one on the other. And for some reason I'm not able to focus in really good. Alright, so this is one side. So I used black pipe that you get from, I got these from Tractor Supply, but you can get them from Lowe's or Home Depot, anything you want. Basically the cap for the pipe right here. And what I did was just went ahead and drilled a hole through it and put an eye bolt through it. So inside of that cap is actually a nut. An 800-pound carabiner, and I had extra 550 cord laying around. So I said, you know what, if it's strong enough to do 550 pounds, that's more than enough to do cable flies. You're nowhere going to max that out. Anything else I want to do heavy, like abs or tricep push downs or anything else, I'm going to get off of my main bench anyways. Lat pull downs, all that stuff's going to come off the bench. This is really just designed for cable flies. So I have the black pipe at the bottom, eye hook bolt, carabiner, 550 cord, goes up, and I just used a pulley, another 800-pound carabiner going into a screw-in eye hook into the floor joist, and basically the 550 cord comes back down to a handle. Now I know this looks kind of scary, but again, 550 cord, everything's detachable really quick, so the cord breaks, change it out, no problems. I have one handle already. You can see it here on the floor. I've only needed one for now because of the setup that I had originally. When I decided to build this system, everything was closed. So I said, you know what, I had some 1-inch PVC pipe laying around. Works perfect. Handle works great. I've used it several times. There's no chafing at all on the cord. Worst case scenario, if I don't get me another handle, I've thought about taking some clear plastic, like air tubing that you would use for like a fish tank or something like that, just running through there. But I mean, I figure another metal handle shouldn't cost me, $20, something like that. So I figure one of these days I'll change it out whenever I see this one starting to chafe some. But like I said, I mean, it works great. The floor pads are rubber, so no real hard thunk on the concrete or nothing else underneath of it. Works great. Okay, so this is basically all it is. You might be able to see here. It's 1/2 by 8 galvanized steel pipe nipple. So, what is that? That's, yeah. So 8 inches long. Goes into a T. That coming off the end of it. And this cap just unscrews, which I have it on here really tight so it doesn't go anywhere. Nice and strong. Eye hook. And the simple way it works, I'm going to try to do this with one hand. I got a 5-pound plate here. So just rest it up against my leg for right this second. Of course, you'd be doing this with 2 hands. So plate fits in there perfectly fine. And that's it. So what's nice is if I want, I can just, you know, undo the hook at the top, take the whole assembly down. If I decide I want to hook something else to it, I can. Works perfectly fine. I have another one on the other side of the bench I'll show you here. Hold on a second. So basically, you figure that one's there on that side, and this one is here on this side. Same setup. Runs down. I mean, they look a little awkward because they're laying to the side, but I mean, they work perfectly fine. And then what I did to keep it simple is, I'm trying not to move this camera too fast to make anybody dizzy. I hook them both up there at the top. There's enough room to hook them. That way I can change out whatever weight I want to. I can stand underneath the equipment, grab them, pull them down in front of me, take a step forward, and you know, I'm right into doing flies. So when I'm done, just put them back up there. They're out of the way. Like I said, everything's unhookable. Basically, everything is easily replaced. If it breaks, any other issues, it's, you know, perfectly fine. So a few other things that I made that I think are absolutely essential is a forearm. You know, the actual forearm blaster. So you put whatever plate you want at the bottom, slip it through, and then your whole goal is just to sit here and just, you know, rotate this around until your forearms are screaming. Another thing that was nice was this piece of rope, plain and simple. But what's nice is this can go around your waist and around your hips, hang around your hips, and then a weight plate will hang off of that. So if you want to do dips, you want to do pull-ups, you can do it. Nice rope for tricep, you know, push downs if you want to use it. I typically use the bar, but what's nice is I'll put, you know, a lot of weight on the, you know, on the piece down here, and then I can actually, you know, grab a hold of these, kneel down, and then I can do abs. I can do weighted crunches with that. The other thing I made, see if I can get out of here really quick without running into all the weights, is a DIY version of the Bulgarian training bags. So if you're not quite sure what they are, you can, you know, Google them or look them up. YouTube, there's plenty of videos out there how to make your own. This is a 40-pound here. This here is a 50-pound. Actually, it weighs in at 53. And then I made a 15. So we're great. You know, you can use it for hammer curls. Since I'm doing all my stuff in the basement, I don't have a whole lot of room to do like walking lunges with a barbell, and you know, so it's kind of nice to throw these over your shoulder. Go to town, do whatever you want to do. You know, the wife's used them for squats before, so just to kind of get that a little extra, you know, that little extra push. So I don't know, they're nice, very cheap compared to what normal weights cost. So it worked out great. But anyways,